Real Madrid take all 3 points from Rayo Vallecano, extending their lead at the top of the table. Julian Laurent joins us. Sid and Luis remain with us to reflect on this one. Should we start with Sid, because he was at the game, because he's been at every game in Madrid.
He's been covering some ground.
He's been all over the place. Sid, we've seen this before from Real Madrid this season.
Yes, absolutely we have, and in particular in the last couple of months. Until today, Real Madrid's results had been winning every other game. Not able to string 2 wins together over the last, I think that goes back an 8-game run. They haven't been particularly impressive, but they've tended to find a way through. Not always, but they've tended to. Of course, we saw it with an Asensio goal from a long way out last week. We saw it with this brilliant combination between Benzema and Vinicius this week. And they still don't really convince Real Madrid over this last couple of months. I think if you go back over the last 8 or 9 games, you'd probably say there's only one really good performance in it. But they got through, and that's really, really important for them. The good news, of course, for Real Madrid is look at the recent run from Sevilla. Sevilla were in a position where they could have put themselves a single point behind Real Madrid, and they didn't take it with that missed penalty away at Osasuna, what was it, 3 weeks ago. And Sevilla have now drawn 4 of their last 5, which is why Real Madrid is still very much clear at the top.
Yeah, it's another forgettable performance, though, from Real Madrid, Luis. They get it done, very professional, they're going to win the title. But what's wrong? Why are we seeing only glimpses of what they can offer? Why can't they put it together for much more of the game?
Well, I guess it's the intensity on the game. We've been talking a lot about the midfield of Real Madrid, that fantastic Modric, Kroos and Casemiro, but they play 1 week in and 1 week out every single minute of the whole competition, and at the end you can see that they lose the legs for many minutes, and the other teams, they realize that they put a high intensity on the game, they're going to suffer. And we've seen it for already many weeks that Real Madrid, when they is not on the ball, they suffer. They look vulnerable at the back. Of course, some other teams, they don't have the quality that this Real Madrid have up front. So at the end, they managed to pull out some very good results. And today was no difference. Nothing much in the first half, waiting for that specific or special moment from brilliant Vinicius Junior or Benzema, and that's it. We won 1-0, and last week we happened the same. One moment of magic from Asensio, scored the first goal, and that's it. So at the end, we don't see the best of Real Madrid, but they continue moving forward. So that's why I think that it's going to be very difficult to catch them, and they're going to get the trophy of La Liga.
Every single game there is a big say, but you could just see it. You could just see he's like, bring it on.
I think in the first 3 or 4 months, it looked like Vinicius Junior was going to establish himself as Real Madrid's best player. But over the last couple, without question, and put that in context of the wider season, no question is Thibaut Courtois. One of the indescribables around goalkeeping is presence. And I always use Peter Schmeichel as kind of the yardstick. I always felt that certainly when I was playing, when Peter Schmeichel was in goal, when you looked up and you saw Schmeichel, you thought twice about taking the shot.
Yep.
And that's been the big difference between Thibaut Courtois now and when he first joined Real Madrid. We all knew he was a good goalkeeper at Atletico. We all knew he was a good goalkeeper at Chelsea, but just that uncertain start, and maybe he just felt that the club was a little bit too big for him, and he did not have that presence. Now, every time you get the ball to feet, you look up, you see Courtois, you're thinking, I'm not going to beat him from here. And that goes regardless of whether you're 25 or 30 yards out, or as we saw today, you're 5 or 6 feet away from him. He still somehow produces the save.
We'll say thank you very much to Luis and Sid. Just a reminder, La Liga continues on Sunday. Villarreal against Espanyol is how things start. And then what a massive Seville derby it is. Sevilla against Real Betis. Both teams flying so far this season. A huge contest there. That's followed by Real Sociedad against Osasuna. And finally, informed Barca take on Athletic Club. And on Monday, it's Granada against Cadiz. Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.